everyone, welcome to another Taylor's Tech Talks, and this is the first ever Final Cut Fridays. My name is Taylor Arndt, and I create videos all about tech, programming, freelancing, YouTube. So if you're interested in tech and you would like to get the latest content, why not start now by subscribing to the channel and ringing that notification bell. Before I get too much further, I want to address a couple things. First thing is that YouTube has decided that it would be an awesome idea to turn off my comment section in my videos because, frankly, they think that I am a child, which I am sorry, YouTube, but I am not a child. I am 22 years old, in fact, and am legal age. So, if you're watching this, please tell your algorithm that it would be a great idea to have my comments enabled so that people can interact with my videos. In the meantime, you can leave comments in the blog post that is attached to this YouTube video on my website. You guys have been reacting so amazing to my Final Cut tutorial that I did last week when I purchased Final Cut. And so I thought it would be a great idea to do a Final Cut Friday series where I will show you how to use Final Cut Pro for voiceover users who are blind or who want to learn Final Cut in general. You don't have to be blind, but this is an accessible, friendly Final Cut tutorial. So, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be showing you the Final Cut interface with VoiceOver, and I'm going to be going through the different elements and the different panes and the menus, and then we're also going to be configuring some preferences. If you need Final Cut installed, I'm going to link to my introductory video that I did about Final Cut, where you can be able to install it and get it configured. But if you're ready to go, let's go ahead and get us started here. We're not going to really be doing much of anything today in terms of editing, but we're just going to do a orientation.
Final Cut Pro application. Yes, open.
All right. Opening Final Cut.
Final Cut Pro window. Project timeline layout area has keyboard focus.
We're in a project timeline layout focus. So let's actually start from the top of the window. The first thing we have is the close, and the way that I'm accessing this is I am pressing VO right arrow. I'm pressing VO left arrow until I get to the top. So we have our close button.
Minimize button. Full screen button.
Maximize
Actions
full
available.
screen.
This button also has a toolbar.
Toolbar, let's see what's in here. So I'm going to interact, VO shift down.
Into show or hide the keyword. Import media from the device, camera, or archive button.
Import media, so that is where you can import your media. And I recommend using the keyboard shortcut rather than using that toolbar. Again, Final Cut has some awesome keyboard shortcuts, which we're going to get into in a little bit.
Show or hide the keyword editor toggle button.
Keyboard editor.
Show or hide the background task window. Command 9 toggle button.
Background tasks.
Show or hide the background task window. Command 9 toggle button. Show or hide the browser. Selected toggle button.
Browser.
Show or hide the timeline. Selected toggle button.
Timelines. You can hide any of these commands. You can hide any of these areas, rather.
Show or hide the inspector. Selected toggle button.
Inspector.
Share a project, event clip, or timeline range. Dim
Share.
Button. Share a project, event clip, or timeline range.
I'm going to
Dim
stop interacting. VO shift up.
Out of toolbar. Show or hide the library sidebar. Selected toggle button.
Libraries. So that is where you can store your media, and that is where it will be stored. And we're going to talk all about that next time. So you will have to tune in for Final Cut Friday next week.
Show or hide the photos and audio sidebar toggle button.
Photos and audio. That's where you can import photos and audio and sound effects.
Show or hide the titles and generators sidebar toggle button.
Titles and generators.
Hide rejected. Clip filtering pop-up button.
Hide.
Clip filtering. View mode button.
View mode.
Appearance and filtering button.
Appearance and filtering.
Toggle search bar button.
Search
Toggle search
bar.
bar. Event media sidebar table. Untitled. Event sidebar. Event smart collections. Event sidebar with folder image. Collapse level 2. Untitled. Event sidebar with library image. Expanded. 2 items
So
closed.
these are like
Level
the
1.
different events. So usually I try to have one event per like project. Start off initially doing this, and that way I can find everything right that I need to find.
Smart collections. Event side 92221. Event sidebar with event image.
That's
Collapse.
the default event. It automatically creates an event the day that you install Final Cut Pro.
92221.
And
Event
all
sidebar.
I'm doing here is I'm pressing VO right arrow. I'm going to stop interacting. VO shift up.
Out of event media. Vertical splitter.
Vertical splitter.
Events group.
Events.
Testing group. Testing group.
Testing.
1 of 1 selected. 0000. Horizontal splitter. PLT 25
I
feet
just
stereo.
made an event here.
F viewer player labels projects image.
And
Player
then you
label
can
icon.
see there's some F viewer label project stuff.
Testing. Video scale menu. Menu. View options. Menu button. Menu button.
Video scale,
Final Cut Pro
view
has new window.
options,
Display area. Split group.
display area.
Lumen display group. Video scopes layout menu button. Out of display. Play slash pause.
And I can actually go in there and I can change some video settings. But again, a lot of this stuff I would recommend you do in the keyboard shortcuts because this could be a lot time consuming.
Play slash pause. Dim radio group.
Play pause.
Tool palette menu button.
Tool
Power
palette.
controls.
So there's a bunch of tools like selection and stuff.
Tool palette. Dim menu button. Numeric entry direction image.
Numeric entries.
Play pause button. Dim button.
Play pause.
00:00:00:00. Time code LCD. Toggle audio meters button.
Time code audio meters.
Move playhead or change duration button.
Playhead duration.
Play full screen. Dim button.
Full screen.
Horizontal splitter. Info inspector. Selected toggle button.
Info.
Share inspector toggle button. Final Cut Pro has
Share.
new testing. 00:720 times 576 vertical line 25 feet. Stereo vertical line 48, rec, 601, PAL.
Okay.
Modify button. Project properties, scroll area. Vertical splitter. Toggle timeline index, toggle button. Append to timeline button. Insert in timeline. Append. Overwrite in timeline button.
I'm
Dim
all
button.
in new view, right?
Menu. Tool palette. Timeline navigation. Testing. Menu button. 00. Timeline navigation. Solo. Top. Change the appearance of the clips in the media browser palette. Project timeline layout area.
And you want to hear the project timeline layout area. If I just want to go to my timeline, I can press Command 2. And that will bring me right to my timeline where I can import my media. And to do that, I'm going to press VO Shift M.
Menu bar. Apple. Final Cut Pro.
Final Cut Pro. So this is the menu. Let's go VO down.
Final Cut Pro. Menu. About Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro.
Final Cut Pro.
About preferences. Ellipsis. Command. Column.
Preferences.
Commands. Submenu.
Commands.
Download additional content. Ellipsis.
Download additional content. I haven't explored that, but that might be interesting.
Provide Final Cut Pro feedback. Ellipsis.
Feedback.
Services. Submenu.
Services.
Hide Final Cut Pro Command H.
Hide.
Hide others. Command Option H. Show all. Dimmed.
I'm going to go VO right.
File. Menu 26 items.
File.
New. Submenu. Open library. Submenu.
Open library.
Close library. Untitled.
Close.
Library properties. Command Control J. Import. Submenu.
Import.
Transcode media. Ellipsis. Dim.
Transcode.
Relink files. Submenu.
Relink.
Export XML. Ellipsis.
Export XML. And actually, that is going to be really important. I know that sometimes YouTubers, right, they have these timestamps. And when I export the XML from my project, I can get those timestamps, which I can put in the description, and so they show up for you all. So timestamps, actually, the XML, that's actually pretty important. So we're going to be coming back to that shortly.
Export captions. Ellipsis. Dimmed.
Captions.
Share. Submenu. Dimmed.
Share.
Send to compressor. Submenu. Dimmed.
Send to compressor.
Save video effects preset. Ellipsis. Dimmed.
Video effect presets.
Save audio effects preset. Ellipsis. Dimmed.
Audio effects.
Copy to library. Submenu. Dimmed.
Copy.
Move to library. Submenu. Dimmed.
Move.
Consolidate event media. Ellipsis.
Consolidate.
Consolidate motion content. Ellipsis. Dimmed. Delete generated clip files. Ellipsis. Merge events. Dimmed.
Merge.
Close. Testing. Close other timelines. Dimmed.
Okay.
Reveal in browser. Dimmed. Reveal project in browser. Shift Option F. Reveal in Finder. Dimmed. Command Shift R.
Command Shift R will review it in Finder. That's pretty important.
Reveal proxy media in Finder. Dimmed. Move to trash. Dim command. Delete.
Move trash.
Move to trash. Dim command. Delete.
I'm going to go VO right.
Edit. Menu 39 items.
And again, we can go into all these submenus, which we will. But what I'm doing right now is I'm just giving you a general tour of the app. So I'm showing you exactly how the app is functioning.
Undo. Dim command. Redo. Dim command. Shift Z.
How you can edit your videos. So
Undo. Redo. Dim command. Shift
this
Z.
is like a standard edit menu. Undo, redo, paste, copy.
Cut. Copy. Dim command. Copy time code. Paste command V. Copy time code.
You can copy a time code.
Paste as connected clip Option V. Delete. Dim delete. Replace with gap. Dim forward delete.
Replace with gap.
Select all command A. Select clip C. Deselect all command Shift. Select submenu. Paste effects. Dim command Option V. Paste attributes. Ellipsis. Remove effects. Dim command. Remove attributes. Ellipsis. Duplicate project command. Duplicate project as ellipsis.
Duplicate project.
Snapshot project command Shift D. Keyframes. Submenu.
Okay.
Connect to primary storyline. Dim Q. Insert. Dim W.
Insert.
Append to storyline. Overwrite. Dim D. Source media. Submenu. Overwrite to primary storyline. Lift from storyline. Dim. Add cross dissolve. Dim. Add color board. Add channel EQ. Connect title. Submenu. Insert generator. Submenu. Add freeze frame. Dim option. Captions. Submenu. Find ellipsis. Command F. Find and replace title text. Start dictation ellipsis. Emoji and symbols. Emoji and symbols.
All right. VO right.
Trim. Menu 10 items.
Trim.
Blade. Dim command. Blade all. Dim command.
Blade is the tool basically where you can blade clips. In other words, you're splitting clips. I like to use the select tool a lot more, but the blade tool is available. And you can do that by pressing Command B when you're editing. So we're going to show you how to do that next week when we go into our basic editing.
Join clips. Dimmed. Trim start. Dim option. Left bracket.
Trim start. So this will trim everything from your current playhead to the start of the clip. I'm sorry. Your current playhead to the start of the media.
Trim end. Dim option. Trim selection. Dim option. Backslash.
Trim selection. Trim end. You can either press backspace to get rid of your selection, or you can press Option backslash.
Extend edit. Dim shift X.
Extend edit.
Align audio to video. Dim.
Align audio to video. So if you're a audio editor, or maybe you have some video that you need to get, you can align audio to video. If you, for some reason, have them recorded separately.
Align audio to video. Dim. Nudge left. Dim comma.
Nudge left.
Nudge right. Nudge right. Dim period.
Nudge right.
Mark. Menu 14 items.
Mark. So this is for markers. So this is also important for adding chapter markers. This is what I tend to use it for. So for the time codes, I have to get the chapters in Final Cut. And so I will use this timestamp editor thing to be able to do that. So I'll show you exactly what that looks like.
Set range start right.
So start range start. This is what I use. So I set my range. And if you watch the intro tutorial, I show you how I edit a little bit. But I usually start with the I for set range start.
Set range end O.
And then I do O to end the range.
Set clip range X.
Set clip range X.
Clear selected ranges option X.
Clear selected.
Favorite F.
Favorite.
Delete. Dim delete.
Delete.
Unread U.
Unread.
Show keyword editor command K.
Show keyword editor.
Remove all keywords control 0.
Remove all keywords.
Remove all analysis keywords control option 0.
Analysis keywords.
Markers submenu.
Markers. And so this is where you can go to markers and you can add them. But again, I like to use the M command to add my markers. I press M twice and then I type in my chapter stuff. So basically all this allows you to do is do this from the menus. But again, I am a big advocate of keyboard shortcuts.
Go to submenu.
Go to.
Previous submenu.
Previous.
Next submenu.
Next. Clip. So this is the clip menu.
Clip menu 15 items. Create storyline. Dim command G.
Create storyline.
Synchronize clips ellipsis. Dim command option G.
Synchronize.
Reference new parent clip. Dimmed.
Reference.
Open clip. Dimmed.
Open.
Audition. Submenu.
Audition.
Show video animation. Dim control V.
Video animation.
Show audio animation. Dim control A.
Audio animation.
Solo animation. Dim control shift V.
And you can hear all these keyboard shortcuts, right, y'all?
Expand audio. Dim control S.
Expand audio.
Expand audio components. Dim control option. Detach audio. Dim control shift S.
Detach audio.
Break apart clip items. Dim command shift G.
Break apart.
Enable. Dim V.
Enable.
Solo. Dim option S.
Solo.
Add to solo clips.
Add to solo clips.
Add to solo clips.
I'm going to go VO right arrow.
Modify. Menu 19 items.
Modify.
Analyze and fix ellipsis. Dimmed.
Analyze and fix. So this is awesome. So I can do I can do analysis of my audio, and I can do analysis of my video colors. So I was actually able to change my color stuff. I kind of looked weird, but I was able to change my colors in Final Cut by myself being blind. But it didn't look all that great. But I was able to do it, so that's an accomplishment.
Adjust. Apply custom name. Submenu. Adjust content created date and time. Ellipsis. Dimmed.
Adjust content created date and
Apply.
time.
Assign audio roles. Submenu.
Assign audio roles.
Assign video roles. Submenu.
Video roles.
Assign caption roles. Submenu.
Caption roles.
Edit roles. Ellipsis.
Edit roles.
Balance color. Dim command option B.
Balance color, so that's what I did.
Match color. Ellipsis. Dim command option M.
Match color is also another option.
Smart conform. Dimmed.
Smart conform.
Auto enhance audio. Dim command option A.
Auto enhance audio, one of my favorite keyboard shortcuts. If I've got audio that isn't very good, I can enhance it and I can make it good, and I can get the levels in a good enough state. So remember that keyboard shortcut, command option A.
Match audio. Ellipsis. Dim command shift M.
Match audio. So if I want to match the audio to what's already been, in the different levels, I can try to equalize it there.
Adjust volume. Submenu.
Adjust volume. That's also very important. If I've got low audio like I had last week, I can adjust that.
Adjust audio fades. Submenu.
Audio fades.
Add keyframe to select effect in animation editor. Dim option K.
Key selected fades.
Change duration. Ellipsis. Dim control D.
Duration.
Retime. Submenu.
Retime.
Render all control shift R.
Render all.
Render selection. Dim control R. Render selection. Dim control
I'm
R.
going to go VO right.
View. Menu 21 items.
View.
Playback. Submenu.
Playback.
Sort library events by. Submenu.
Sort library events by. So this is all like the view.
Browser. Submenu.
Browser.
Show and viewer. Submenu.
Show and viewer.
Show and event viewer. Submenu.
Show and event viewer.
Toggle inspector height. Dim command control 4.
Toggle inspector height.
Timeline index. Submenu.
Toggle timeline index.
Show audio lanes.
Audio lanes.
Collapse subroles. Dim.
Collapse subroles.
Timeline history. Back command. Left bracket. Timeline history forward command. Right bracket.
Timeline history.
Show precision editor. Dim control E.
Precision editor.
Zoom command equals.
Zoom in.
Zoom out command hyphen.
Command equals and command hyphen. Definitely great for you can zoom in really tight or really close if you need to try to get something that's either really refined at it, or you need to get it really far out. Meaning that you can zoom in and out based on how much you need to edit that clip or that frame.
Zoom to fit shift Z.
Zoom to fit.
Checkmark. Zoom to samples control Z.
Zoom to samples.
Checkmark. Skimming S.
Skimming.
Clip skimming command option S.
Clip skimming.
Checkmark. Audio skimming shift S.
Shift S. Audio skimming.
Snap and N.
Snap.
Enter full screen command control F.
Enter full screen.
Enter full screen command control F. Window. Menu 18 items.
Window. I'm going to do VO shift down arrow again to see what's in here.
Minimize command M.
Minimize.
Minimize all.
Minimize all.
Zoom.
Zoom.
Tile window to left of screen.
Tile window.
Tile window to right of screen.
Tile window right of screen.
Go to. Submenu.
Go to.
Show in workspace. Submenu.
Show in workspace.
Show in secondary display. Submenu.
Show in secondary display.
Workspaces. Submenu.
Workspaces.
Record voiceover command option 8.
Record voiceover.
Background task command 9.
And no, this is not the voiceover that I'm using for my screen reader. This is a voiceover in terms of an actual voiceover.
Project properties command J.
Project properties.
Project timecode.
Timecode.
Source timecode.
Source timecode.
A slash V output. Dimmed.
AV output.
Output to VR headset command control option 7.
Output to VR headset.
Bring all to front.
Bring all to front.
Checkmark. Final Cut Pro. Checkmark. Final Cut Pro. Help. Menu item search result.
And
Interactive.
help.
Final Cut Pro help.
Final Cut Pro help.
What's new in Final Cut Pro?
What's new in Final Cut Pro?
Keyboard shortcuts.
Keyboard shortcuts.
Logic effects reference.
Logic effects reference. Interesting.
Supported cameras.
Supported cameras.
Apps for Final Cut Pro.
Apps for Final Cut Pro. So that's going to be something that we explore later on for getting apps for our Final Cut Pro.
Service and support.
Because they have something called plugins. Service and support.
Service and support. Service and support.
And that is
Closing
it,
menu. Project
folks,
timeline.
of the menu. But we're not done yet because I do want to show a couple preferences. So hopefully that gave you guys a good idea of how the app is laid out. Now, caveats is that I love keyboard shortcuts. I do not use anything other than keyboard shortcuts. I can go to the menu from time to time, but my main motive here, y'all, is using the keyboard shortcuts because I'm a lot faster. And so I'd recommend you do the same. And so I'm showing you this so that you know what's in the menu in the interface. But what I really recommend that you do is that you use the keyboard shortcuts that we're going to learn throughout the series. So what we're going to be doing, and I'm also learning Final Cut Pro as well. So as I get better, the videos will get better, right? So I'm kind of documenting my journey learning Final Cut Pro. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you guys my preferences because there's a couple things that I want to keep in mind and a couple things that I want to show you. So Command comma.
Preferences. Auto start background render. Start after. Auto start render. Toolbar. Playback. Zoom. Minute. Close button. Minute. Zoom. Playback.
Playback.
Toolbar.
I'm going to go in toolbar.
Import. Playback. Selected button. Editing button. General button.
And it will leave off in the last place that you were at. So by default, it will go into general. So I'm going to go into general by pressing VO space. Stop interacting.
Outer toolbar. Time display.
Time display.
HH:/NF:/NF. Time code display
I
format. Pop-up
leave
button.
all that the same.
Dialog warnings. Reset all button. Audio units. Validate on next launch button. Color correction. Color board. Time code display format. Pop-up button.
Color board.
Inspector units. Pixels. Time code display format. Pop-up button. Pixels. Time code display format.
So that's all that's in general. So I'm going to go back to the toolbar.
Inspector color board. Color. Audio. Reset. Dialog. HH. Time. Tool. General. Toolbar. Editing button.
Editing.
Outer timeline. Show trimming feedback. Checkbox.
Okay.
Position play head after edit. Checkbox.
Yep.
Audio. Show reference waveforms. Uncheck checkbox. Durations. Audio fade. Default transition length title. 0.50. Edit text.
I'm going to leave all these the same for now. All these are the same for now.
Seconds. Crossfade. 0.10. Edit text. Seconds. Still image. 4.00. Seconds. Transition. 1.00. Seconds. Seconds.
Okay.
1. Transit. Second. 4. Still. Second. 0. Crop. Second. 0. Audio. Duration. Show ref. Audio. Position. Show trimming feedback. Time. Toolbar. Editing. Toolbar. Playback button.
I'm going to go to playback.
Out of rendering. Auto start background render. Checkbox.
Auto start.
Start after. 0.3. Edit text. Seconds. Render /share GPU. Apple M1. Dim. Pop-up. Playback. Create proxy media. Checkbox. If a frame drops, stop playback and warn. Uncheck checkbox. If frames drop due to disk performance, warn after playback. If frames drop on VR headset, warn after pre-roll duration. 2.0. Edit text.
So I can change it. Maybe I don't want to have 2 seconds of silence before my, video starts. Actually, I really don't. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. And maybe I say 1 or maybe I say 0, right? Basically, it's saying before the video starts, pre-roll of silence, right? So I actually want to change this.
0. Insertion at end of seconds. 0. Insertion at end of text.
0.
Edit. Second. Post roll duration. 2.0. Edit text.
And I also want to change this to 0 as well.
Post 0. Insertion at end of text. Edit text.
So I change both those to 0. That way I know that I can trim off the ending as well, or the beginning, right? That way I know that I won't have any silence at the beginning or the end. It just kind of makes it easier for me to make sure that I'm getting rid of everything.
Seconds. Player background. Black. Player background color.
Player background. So by default it's black, and that would be good for most people unless you have vision maybe where black isn't a great color for you. You can always change this here.
ASLIFE output. Player back. None found. ASLIFE output device. Dim. Pop-up.
AV output. I don't have any of that.
Show ATR as home mapped. Dim. Uncheck. Check. Show ATR as home.
All right. Let's go to the next section.
0. Post seconds. 0. Pre. If pre. Play. Apple. Red. Second. 0. Start. Auto. Red. Tool. Play. Zoom. Play. Toolbar. Import. Destinations button. Playback. Selected button. Import button.
Import.
Out of files. Copy files to library. Radio button.
Copy
Select
files to
and place the copies in the current
library.
library storage location.
Very important. No, do not do that. Do not copy to your library. Okay, it can be fine, but the problem is that you're going to fill up your computer or your hard drive. So what I recommend you doing is keeping your media on your hard drive, an external one. That way you don't fill up your computer. And then what I recommend you do is I recommend that you keep it in place. That way it won't copy the file again and you won't have duplicates. So I recommend turning that off. That's just what I have, and I recommend you do the same as well.
Leave files in place. Selected radio button. Keywords. Keywords from Finder tags. Checkbox. Select to create keyword collection name after Finder tags. Keywords from folders. Checkbox. Analyze video. Balance color. Uncheck checkbox.
Analyze
Select to detect
video.
color tabs and contrast issues to correct issues in browser clips. Select balance color from the enhancements pop-up menu in the toolbar.
So by default, these are things that it would do by default. I'm not going to really do that. I'm not going to really have it balance color and stuff by default, but you can do that.
Find people. Uncheck checkbox. Consolidate find people results. Dim uncheck. Create smart collection. Dim uncheck checkbox. Select to create smart collection.
And you notice that all these options have voiceover help tags. So if you're using voiceover, it's really helpful because all of these have voiceover help tags.
Transcode. Create optimized media. Uncheck checkbox.
Create
Select to create high quality
media.
copies. Create proxy media. Uncheck codec. Use Clear's proxy codec. Dim select. Use H.26 frame size. 50%. Analyze audio. Fix audio problems. Checkbox.
Yes, and
Select
I have
correct noise and
analyzed,
loudness.
I have fixed audio problems on so that it will automatically fix audio problems for me.
Separate. Remove silent channel. Separate mono and group stereo. Uncheck checkbox. Remove silent channels. Uncheck checkbox.
Remove
Select
silent
remove silent
channels.
channels.
I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Check. Remove. Assign audio role. Assign hidden names. Check. Assign hidden names. Check. Assign hidden names. Check.
Okay.
Checkbox. Remove. Fit. Create smart.
Next
Find.
section.
Balance. Analyze. Keyword. Keep. Leave. Cop. File. Tool. Import. Zoom. Import. Toolbar. Destinations button.
Destinations. So destinations is where you can select different destinations that you want to have it export. So this is when you're going to export your video when you're done editing. You can have it export to YouTube and Facebook or other destinations. What I recommend you do though is I recommend that you keep at least the raw, unencoded, big Final Cut video that's usually around 10 gigs or 9 or however many. And that way you can keep that on an external hard drive. And so if you need to pick clips from it later, you always have that. So I can be able to export the videos to different services. right? And so that's something that you should keep in mind, is that I can actually export the videos to different services, but I would rather also have an unencoded version on my hard drive or somewhere else that can handle all that data in case I need to grab from it later. So I always recommend having multiple versions. It may be a pain, but trust me, it's going to be worth it. Those are all the preferences. And with that, y'all, I think that this could be a wrap. Go to taylorstechtalks.com if you would like to comment if they are disabled for some reason. And on taylorstechtalks.com, we've got a tip jar where you can be able to help support the channel. taylorstechtalks.com, you'll find the support form, and when you do that, you will be able to get access to our exclusive Discord server of Taylor's Tech Talks community members. If you're looking for maybe a free option, we just created a new Discord server with my friend Michael Dowies for our Techopolis, which if you haven't checked that out, go ahead. That's in the description. It's our other channel. And we created a Discord where we're going to talk tech, and we're going to promote live streams, and we're going to have Discord stages. So if you would like more of this content, feel free to go check that out as well. But with that, y'all, I think that we'll do it for this Final Cut Friday. With that, everyone, I am out, and I will talk to you guys later.